Pick up your weapon and face it. There's blood on the ground, go and take it. You get one shot to make it out alive. So higher and higher you chase it. It's deep in your bones, go and take it. This is your moment, now is your time. So prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Push through heaven. Rise, rise. They will remember you. Welcome to the climb up. Reach for the summit. Visions brave, the one falls.
Hello and welcome everyone to our Division 2 match in Serenity Gaming Wintersplit between Team Lightning Fang, Team 2 and Serenity Gaming Aries. I'm Kachka and I'm joined today by Acrylex.
Hi there, Kashka. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, how are you doing?
I am very good, my friend.
Well, we are going to cast actually a Division 2 match today. Both of these teams, well, T2 currently sitting on 4 points, Aries on 9 points, and we are first week in, and that means that they only get 2 more weeks to play, so we are slowly nearing that time of the promotion games. And yeah, basically today both of these teams, they really want to pick up some points. For Aries, it's more about getting that point lead, since we have the Phoenix sitting on 11 points, them on 9, with Cepheus also on 9 points. So if they can get themselves a nice and solid 2-0 win, then they will definitely be in a strong spot. On the other side, we have T2 who are on 4 points, and a 0-2 loss actually makes sure that they cannot make it into promotions today.
Yeah, it's definitely tight at the top here, and I'm looking forward to how Aries are gonna tackle too. You know, they definitely want to pick up the win here, and you know, T2 might be looking for a win as well, but you know, we might see some different types of play here. Both teams trying to like get those points, but also adapt to the changes of the preseason.
Talking about the preseason, we have seen the final in the Division 1 match between Hero and Lyra. I'm not entirely sure if we will see it in Division 2, but what do you think we can expect from both of these teams?
So, for Aries, you know, a lot of them like to play a lot of aggressive roles. So, for Ra in the top lane, he likes to play a lot of carries.
17 minutes.
So, I expect to see some early aggression here.
Make sure I'm not going through here.
But for T2,
I'm muted.
you know, they might pick some things that they're comfortable with.
Yeah, comfort is definitely something very good, especially if you need to pick up at least one win to even have a chance to make it into the promotions as T2. And you know, even give a shot even if you're not going to make it out, because at the end of the split there will be playoffs for both of divisions. And
you know,
yep.
Well, I'm thinking that, you know, T2 might have the mentality right now of we're nearing the end of the split. We're not performing as well as we'd like to, so let's maybe try some different things out. So, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing them develop some new strategies, maybe.
Yeah, well, the half of the split is nearly there. You know, we do have the other half after the promotion games, so they definitely can pick up the pace there. But changes will be interesting to see, especially combined with that preseason that we talked about earlier. It does force teams to really adapt into their playstyle, and yeah, we've already seen the funnel. Personally, not my favorite strategy, but definitely something that is interesting and we could look forward to. But yeah, talking about individual differences in the teams though, because you touched on it earlier, we are seeing in the top lane actually that Ra likes to play these carries, and T2 on the other side, they brought in a substitute Moki3Z or Moki, yes, I don't know, I'm just gonna call him Moki for the clarity's sake, and he actually is a jungle main transferred to top lane, so we could be seeing some differences up there.
Yeah, he definitely might struggle in the early game if you know, Aries maybe want to look to play around the top lane. Might struggle trying to match that pressure, but he might have to just give it up early on and just say, hey guys, I've lost this lane, there's not much I can do, but I will try my best here.
Yeah, on the other side, T2, they could play around Totot and the bot lane. That is something that I think you picked up on earlier as well.
Yeah, the bot lane for T2, and as well as the mid, those are both the lanes that they want to play around. And P6, he had a good performance during their games against T4, and I'm excited to see how he can generate the pressure towards this bot lane so that they can actually get ahead.
Yeah, getting ahead would be very good, especially that. Let me actually just confirm this. Totot actually has recently picked up some of the more early game picks like Draven or Lucian in his solo queue matches, so we could be seeing that. And yeah, I mean, we should be just getting into the draft in about 5 minutes from now on. Also, one thing that I want to mention, with a win today for Aries, Dorado will no longer even have the opportunity to make it into the promotions. They just will be, well, not, yeah, they just will be out of reach, let's say that. And yeah, are you with me here, by the way? Alright, looks like Acrylex might not be here for a while, so I'll try and talk on my own then. I don't really know what to talk about, to be honest. I mean, it is an interesting match to say the least, since yeah, Aries, they want to pick up their points if they want to go for the promotions and try and give a shot at getting into Division 1, and they need to do it since there are currently 3 teams that are looking strong at the top of Division 2. Only 2 of them will even get the chance to get into the promotion for now. So definitely something to look forward to say the least. On the other hand, T2, they cannot afford to lose 0-2 if they want to have a chance. And if they lose, then it's still an uphill battle pretty much. So yeah, definitely a lot to look forward to, especially seeing how these teams will try and adapt around the preseason meta. We have the platings in the top lane, or not in the top lane, actually in all the lanes. That ties into the next point that I wanted to talk about, that Aries could try and exploit on a top laner. They could just pick a carry for Ra and make sure that he can get as many of these platings with his jungler and then get just so much gold, since pretty much each of the platings gives you 160 gold. If you manage to get all 5, that is 800 gold on top of the first blood tower gold and the gold from the tower that you would get normally. Conversely, this is also a viable tactic potentially for T2 to try and play through the bot lane, since we said that Totot is a person that could be played through, and he has been playing these early game AD carries, so it can work both ways. And then there's also the question of funnel, which I don't know how to answer. We only seen really one game, and in my opinion, funnel is something that you really need to nail in order to have it working. And Division 2 teams, they tend to work more around their comfort rather than elaborate strategies, so I'm not sure if you will see that. I just got the links for ProDraft, so we should be going in just a few seconds. Also, Acrylex, are you here with me now, or are you completely out?
I'm here.
Okay, good. Welcome back then. I just had some sort of an essay talking about how they play things, could maybe try and incentivize snowball in one of the lanes, since getting all 5 does get you a lot. But looks like we will be actually going into the picks and bans right now. T2 on the blue side, Aries on the red side, and Camille is being already removed.
Yeah, kind of taking a pocket pick away from both the top lane and the jungle here for Aries. It's a good ban though.
Yeah, Camille does is that potential flex pick. Removing it does help them a lot. On the other side, we have got the Lissandra removed, also a fairly stable mid laner, one that I believe Jurgensen is capable of playing, and Kai'Sa being removed from T2 as well.
Interesting ban, because I know that Lil Eason, he's versatile when it comes to the ADC role, but he actually tends to go for these hyper carries, which choice.
Yes, Kai'Sa as well is a funnel champion, and even though I said we might not see it, these teams can always surprise us, and just because I say that I'm not expecting funnel does not mean that these teams don't want to go for it. And removing Kai'Sa does make a lot of sense. Aries removing the Lucian, but T2 just picking the Ergot straight away.
Yeah, this can be flexed either to top or to mid lane here. And I know Jurgensen has played it in the past, so maybe it is mid.
It could very well be mid. It could as well go to the top side, since Monkey or Moki is a substitute who is, as I said earlier, a jungle main, and he did play a bit of top lane in his flex and solo queue, and one of the champions that he played the most was the Ergot, so going with that, securing a fairly safe pick that he can be put on, will definitely mean a lot. On the other side, Aries getting a very safe bot lane in Braum and Ezreal.
Could you expect to see a response here from T2? They might look for maybe, that early aggression that T2 might be looking for, as well as maybe a playmaking support, maybe like a Leona here, or a Zyra even.
Yeah, Zyra is a very aggressive support if you decide to go for that. T2 are thinking about it. If they pick Zyra, they could as well go for the Draven or some other sort of early game oriented AD carry. And yeah, we are just going to wait for now. One thing good about Zyra into Braum is how easily she can bully him out in lane.
Yeah, that Braum shield, it might block a lot of damage, but it has a relatively long cooldown, and Tot here is actually gonna get one of his comfort picks on the Tristana here.
Yeah, Tristana is a very good AD carry when you can get her into the late game. She will definitely shine in there, and Toto apparently also really good at the champion, so put 2 and 2 together, and T2 securing themselves a strong AD carry pick. On the other side, Aries locking in the Aatrox. I would expect it to go into the top lane, but it can be flexed around.
Definitely strong into the Urgot. He might be able to match some of the pressure, if not bully the Urgot out of lane. And, this is definitely something that Ra is looking to do. Nocturne actually going to be taken away here. So I might expect something like maybe a Yi for T2, or maybe something else.
Yeah, P666 does tend to play in his free time champions like Nocturne, Yi, or Evelynn, which, Nocturne taking away does leave it open. However, he can also go back onto the Xin Zhao that I believe we have seen him on, and I am pretty sure that he is also capable of playing other meta junglers. Shyvana just being removed by the T2. Aries now trying to think of their last ban. It is the Xin Zhao. We have seen P666 play it, and it is a strong jungler pick, so makes a lot of sense to remove it. One thing though that Aries could do is they could flex the Aatrox into the jungle now with all these bans, since I'm pretty sure that Panda does actually play it, or at least has a few games that I have seen on the champion.
Maybe Panda, he wants to pick something like Attilia here to kinda maybe invade, maybe look for rooms around the map. Definitely a strong pick.
Yeah, now they are thinking about their pick. Wukong was removed by the T2, surprisingly. I mean, I haven't really picked up on anyone who would be playing it. Obviously, they probably know more than I do about Aries, because they did look more into the team than I did. Kayn, however, will be the pick.
This is a very AD heavy team, Aries. Whereas for T2, you know, they have some have a balance in AP. Maybe Jorgensen will pick up here. Or
he could.
Gonna be the response here to Kayn.
Well, that does give T2 some nice pick potential. Not too much of it, but if that infinite duress into the Zyra route can land, then I can see T2 getting the damage in very easy. Now we're going to see what will be their mid lane pick. What I suppose it will be the mid lane. Alright, it is the Akali. We are seeing the assassin come out from Jorgensen. He has mostly actually been playing the mages in the Wintersplit, however, he has actually been practicing the assassin's Akali included in the solo queue. It will be most likely going against the Orianna if Aries decide to lock that one in, and T2, they are going for a very spicy composition with a lot of early game power.
Yeah, T2, they have a lot of potential, a lot of backline threat here. You know, the Tristana can actually go into the team, quite be aggressive, but it's not a very smart idea. The Urgot and the Warwick ult, you know, that they can both lock down targets, as well as the Akali as well. A lot of backline threat here from T2.
Yeah, on the other side we see Aries, they have more of a consistent damage fight composition. You've got the Ezreal on Orianna, as for the very consistent damage, and Kayn and Aatrox with some maybe limited, but there is the backline access and some burst. Should Kayn go for the blue form? Well, this is actually going to be a pretty interesting match, since T2, I feel like they will rely more on the Snowball, and Aries, they will try and go for these fights. But on that note, I will hand it over to a short break, and we will see you in the game.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon. Turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands,
Hello everyone, we are back in the game between Team Lightning Fang, Team 2 and Serenity Gaming Aries. And welcome back Acrylex and everyone.
Welcome back ladies and...
Hello? Are you here?
Yeah, just having some problems with my mic. It's fine.
Okay then. Well, we have quite a difference in... Well, if you look across the board, both the runes as well as the sounder items, something that I want to pay particular attention to is the bot lane. Kawaii, Juris on the Zyra going for the Dark Harvest and Ignite. Just a reminder, Dark Harvest did get changed. Right now it gets procced on any damage on anyone below 50% HP. So it is viable on Zyra, I think.
It's not something you do often. Normally they'd go for something more like what Moki's doing here, you know, with Comet, just for some extra poke. But I'm interested to see how it will turn out in lane.
Yeah, it will be definitely something to follow since, you know, we have Lil Ison and One Trick Parent Star on a Ezreal Braum. It is a pretty safe lane, so no kills really should go down without any jungle intervention, but we could see some big CS leads arise. On the other side, we have a fairly interesting matchup in the mid lane. This Akali into Orianna. We have the assassination potential on Jurgensen versus the wave clear of Holberg. So, you know, we're going to have to see if Jurgensen can find these kills. Holberg will just try and get him away on the Orianna with his wave clear. And so far he's doing alright, although, you know, it is just the first wave.
Yeah, he's kind of forcing Jurgensen in quite early on. You know, he may be looking for either early vision, or maybe just an early back for an item.
Yeah, we are seeing him getting more than his own in the lane. However, you know, it is just minute 2, so anything can be swung around, especially since Akali does spike heavily around her level 6. So, you know, nothing is... it's far from decided yet. We see, however, also in the top lane, Ra on the Aatrox managing to shove in Moki under his own turret.
He's just trying to freeze the wave here, sure that he doesn't lose any early pressure.
Yeah, we see some trading across the lanes. Ra, Moki just trading it out. However, mid lane, we could see Lazy Panda going in for a gank. Jurgensen has flash, does use it. But right now, a repeat gank could occur in the middle lane.
I'm not sure if he needed to use his flash there. I kind of feel like Panda was reluctant to go in there. But, you know, a good use there. Great gank from Panda.
It does open up the middle lane for some potential ganks, especially before the Akali hits her level 6. As I said in the bot lane though, we are seeing Kawaii just bullying this Braum relentlessly on the Zyra. Only a small CS lead, but Toto is playing a Tristana, something that it will be very happy to stay even or behind. Meanwhile in the mid lane, P666 trying to go for a gank, and the flash burned from another mid laner. So that does mean that now both of the mid laners are exposed to some return gank potential. Moki in the top lane is gonna get cut down really low by the Ras Aatrox, so he needs to be careful and use his health and potions wisely.
Oh, Panda might be looking for some kind of play in the bot lane here.
Yeah, he's definitely looking for a Parent Star jumping onto Kawaii. He does get 3 stacks, 4 stacks into the stun. However, he does flash away with the heal from Totot and will get out alive. Lil Ison has to flash away. Totot going in forward. He'll use flash forward with the explosive charge. Will secure the filter and jumps away with the rocket jump. But Lazy Panda with the Reaping Slash looking to go for the kill. Flash forward from One Trick Parasite on the bro, trying to get the kill. Ignite, taking down the Lazy Panda, will pick up Totot. Can Kawaii get the double kill? Let's reach from Lazy Panda and he will do so. It is the double kill for the Zyra, and the bot lane from T2 will come out on top.
Well, in the top lane here, Ra actually forced to use his flash there from a gank from P6.
Yeah, that does mean that now so many solo laners are sitting without their flash. actually so many people on both teams. If you look across the board, there is actually only one flash available, and it's on Moki's Ergot right now. So these junglers can just go into pretty much whatever lane they desire as long as they've got this setup, and they will most likely find the kill. Also, actually Kawaii picking up the kill will be interesting. On the Zyra, he will get more damage on, and with the Dark Harvest, he's slowly stacking. I'm not entirely sure how the scaling works on that one, but I believe that each time you attack someone below 50 HP with either auto attack or an ability, you get 1 soul stack, and each soul stack counts for 4 damage. So you can pretty much multiply the stacks by 4 and you would get what he would have right now. So he's actually sitting in a very good spot with the sorcery boots as well. He's going to deal some serious damage on this Zyra.
Now Aries might be looking to maybe make a play around the bot lane, because that now Kawaii actually already has some shutdown gold here, and you know, I think in the pocket of Ezreal, Klepto Ezreal especially, that could help him hit his Triforce power spike quite early on.
Definitely, if he manages to get his 2 items early on, as you said, then he will be a very strong AD carry compared to Totod, because even though Totod is ahead currently on the Tristana, there will be a point in the game, if it keeps going at the pace it is going, where Lil Ison is just going to be stronger than him just purely due to the champion design, and if Aries can play around it, then that could be their avenue into the game. However, even though it's 3 kills to 1, the gold is fairly even. Oh, we could see something in the bot lane. The Braum will just get tagged on by the Zyra's roots and will get out with the Unbreakable. Alright, so we are now seeing the T2 bot lane actually trying to go for the first plating on the turret. Get that 160 gold in the bank will help them. Lil Ison just trying to trade back. The wave will be cleared though, so no attempt will be possible. In the river, meanwhile, in the top lane, Lazy Panda, Holberg does shove out the wave, and Lazy Panda could try and go in for P666, but the Infinite Duress is not available, so there should be no fighting. Meanwhile, Holberg is roaming towards the bot side. He does decide to not go for it. The bot lane from T2 does respect that possibility. However, right now, okay, Totod will just spot out Lazy Panda. It could turn out really bad, since you don't really want to concede kills to the Kayn. P666 has got access to his ultimate. Holberg's flash is on a 10 seconds cooldown now. Actually, in the bot lane, Totod does manage to get the double kill. How did I miss that one? I am very sorry, everyone. That actually is fair. That was actually very huge. So you actually saw that it was happening. So what happened in the bot lane, since I did miss that one? Oh, I will actually just interrupt you shortly. Ryan, the top lane, is under gank. He does pop the World Ender. He will get pulled back into Moki, and P666 will be trying to get the kill. Will secure it in the end. Meanwhile, bot lane, alright, nothing will happen. So tell the viewers what happened in that bot lane.
Well, the Braum actually tried to force an engage there, but in doing so, Kawaii just turned around, put his plants down, and instantly ulted. And then the collapse from Tot there just came through. It was a great turnaround.
Yes, and with that he will be sitting at 3-1 and 2 with 4,300 gold. He's also sitting on a 600 gold shutdown. So, you know, good thing that we are seeing these shutdowns. They just remind us that even if someone gets fed, there is still the very real possibility of the other team to get back just by getting a kill. Meanwhile, we might be seeing another route onto One Trick Parnstar, but he will just jump away as this Braum. Meanwhile, we actually are... Yep. Okay, we see in the top lane Moki does get tagged by the Infernal Chains, and the Lazy Panda will fight P666 in the river. Meanwhile, bot lane Kawaii Juice does flash away, switching back into the top lane. P666 will run away, and Jurgensen is on his way back up, but looks like it will be the disengage. Bot lane Lil Ison does get the shutout and just barely stays alive. Fighting across the map, couldn't keep up with it all. However, the shutdown does land into Ezreal's pocket.
Definitely something that they wanted to do earlier on. Tot a little bit over-aggressive there, instantly gets exhausted as he goes in, and just gives up his life in the process. Unnecessary
aggression. We see a flash from One Trick Parasite. It is yet another shutdown. Great setup on the Braum. Allows Lil Ison to pick up over 1,000 gold in quick succession on this Ezreal, pretty much equaling the gold of his counterpart.
Catching up, not too far behind in farm. And they're just gonna go back to base here. Picks up more of his Triforce, actually rushes Gauntlet here. You know, maybe just looking to stop the early aggression from this team too.
It does give you that safety net that, you know, you can just rely on it to keep you alive in certain situations, and it does add to the CC pool. And Zyra is a very mobile champion, which, yes, you have the flash, but if you can consistently keep her slow, then that could just ever so slightly limit her impact in the fight. And you never know, that slight limitation could be what gets you the fight in the end. We are seeing in the top side river though, Lazy Panda, Jurgensen fighting, and looks like Lazy Panda will just make it out. However, Lazy Panda is now on the wrong side of the map, and in the end he might not be out. He will get feared by 666 and taken down by Jurgensen. Oh, bot lane, Lil Ison is actually gonna get killed by Kawaii Juice. Oh my god, Dark Harvest Zyra is OP, that's too much damage. And it is also the first Ignite there. And the first turret secured as well. We see in the mid lane Jurgensen trying to go onto Holberg. Ignite is down. The perfect execution. However, stopwatch from Holberg, and Jurgensen has to flash away. Flash forward will turn it around. And with that T2, they are sitting at a 2,000, over actually 2,000 gold lead right now. Kawaii is gonna be doing so much damage. He already has the sorcerer boots for the magic penetration. With the haunting guys trying to get the Liandry's torment, he will be dealing insane amounts of damage. However, one thing, yeah,
Holberg here. Holberg here, you know, he's picked up his Luden's Echo now. So now he can be.
However, I will interrupt you because both sides River Kawaii will look like we will get caught out. Just one more auto attack will do it. He will actually make it. No, he won't. Lil Ison picks up the kill, and I will let you continue with, or will I? Because Jurgensen does go into the pit. I'm very sorry, but there's just so much happening right now. Both of these teams, they just don't want to stop fighting. In the top lane, Moki, he will get shoved out under the turret, but nothing will happen. Meanwhile, both sides, the Dragon fight. Dragon dropping to 1000 HP. Infinite Durace onto Holberg will miss. PJ06 still tries to go for the Fear T2 forfeit the Dragon, but they will try and find themselves the pick in the middle. No, they won't! Holberg getting the outplay onto Tolot with the Shockwave and the barrier.
An amazing play from Holberg there.
Now P666 flash forward from Ra into the Darkened Blade. The Fear will land, and the Infernal Chains will get him out with the Blast Cone. P666 still trying to run away. Ra pops the world, and the Lazy Panda going over the wall. The Blade Switch will not secure the kill. It will be the Aatrox. And right now Moki under his own turret does use the ultimate, but it just is not enough. Aries pick up 2 kills. Moki will fall down in return. Here comes Kawaii. Can he find the return kill onto One Trick's Harnstar and Braum? He will land the roots. The Braum, I believe he just arrived on 6 HP. Will he make it out? No, he won't. This Deadly Spines will secure the kill.
A lot of action there from both teams. Kenny was fighting now.
It's actually funny to see Kawhi as the support being the person with arguably the most damage at that point on the Zyra. He's just stacking up his things, and I don't really know what to call it, but in the mid lane, Holberg does use the shockwave, but it just is not enough damage. He will secure it with a command attack dissonance combo. Jurgensen trying to go in for the kill will secure the shutdown for his team. It is a 1-for-1 trade in the end. Lazy Panda still trying to find the kill, goes into the Umbral Trespass, and he has slain Jurgensen. And this game does now go into a really weird back and forth. We see that yes, T2 still have a 2k gold advantage. The kills are though pretty much even right now, and Holbreak on this Orianna, he has been finding these shockwaves and these outplays where he just killed the T2 before they could kill him in a situation that you would not expect it. So I'm looking forward to the mid game, and can Holberg find these team fights? And Lil Ison, once he gets his Muramana and once he even gets it stacked, he will also dish out the damage. So Aries, they do have a decent mid game spike. However, so do T2 with that Zyra and Akali.
Now, if we could talk about vision here while both teams just do their own thing. Now, I'm surprised that you actually did invest more vision around the bot side here, more so than the top lane. But we're actually going to see a rotate here and maybe a lane swap for T2.
The Herald does come down in the top lane, and looks like this will be yet another turret going in for the T2. The charge will take it down. They will maybe try and push in for another one. Holberg is coming up towards this top side. This could break out into a fight if T2 decide that they want to desperately get that turret. The Herald will get chunked down, but he will find the charge. Holberg on the Orianna has arrived. This Duress does miss shockwave onto Total, but does not drop him down. Lazy Panda goes into the infinite Duress, and Ra picks up the kill. Toto trying to dish out the damage on the Tristana, but he cannot find it. Kawaii comes in on the Zyra, and Ra has fallen to his hand. A 1-for-1 in the end. And right now T2 will just try and use that to force an advantage in the top lane. Jurgensen was enough to zone out Lil Ison and Parnstar in the bot side, so turret won't be taken, but Jungle Loki going onto Lazy Panda, and the Purge will finish the kill. Right now we actually see pings from the Aries to try and defend that mid lane turret. T2 are in a position to try and take in. Jurgensen will now hammer away on this objective, and looks like he will actually be able to, or no, he won't. Lil Ison does scare him away. He decides that it is not worth to overforce it when you can just play it safe.
A lot of damage onto the mid tower there, and you know, we could expect to see a response from Aries here to crack up on the map.
Yeah, they could try and utilize that Aatrox, and you know, right now we are not really seeing Aries try and get that Orianna to work. Yes, they did fight in the top lane, but it ended up being a 1-for-1. So how do you think that Aries will try and get themselves back from this deficit?
Well, I think in the last team fight where, you know, T2 got the top tower there from the Herald charge, Little Ison and One Trick weren't actually there. They were actually in the bot lane trying to get the tower, but Jurgensen rotated down and kind of prevented any pressure that they might have generated before it even happened. And you know, I think Aries, they need to utilize their team fighting a lot more. You know, they have a lot of engage with the Orianna Shockwave and the Braum ult.
They definitely can do so, and when the Baron is spawning right now, do you think that Aries can win these straight up 5v5 fights despite their gold deficit?
I think as the game starts to draw out and the Ezreal, you know, he starts to scale up slowly, they could definitely force T2 away from the Baron, because Ra, you know, he's trying his best to generate pressure in the top lane here, but they're not using pressure that they are generating to force objectives or clear out vision. It's actually going to be quite hard from here, but it's definitely doable.
It definitely is, you know. However, right now in the top side jungle, Jurgensen might try and find the pick onto Lazy Panda. That is a lot of damage. Amber will trespass to buy some time, will regain 400 health over it, but the perfect execution will get the kill. P6 against Ra. The Infinite Jewels landing onto the Aatrox. He will get pulled back in. Holberg actually does pick up the kill onto the Warwick. Shockwave is still available and will zone totaled away in the end. A 1-for-1 fight, and the Baron has now spawned. So which team do you think will get control over it?
Well, T2 now, they actually have a lot of vision invested in both rivers, to be honest, but more so around the top side. And you know, it goes into Aries' jungle, and as the mid tower is gonna fall soon for Aries, I would expect T2 to be able to utilize that pressure to maybe look for a play around Baron.
Moki is actually coming into the mid lane. Holberg does have the shockwave. He will flash away, still holds onto his ultimate. Will land only onto one member. Holberg out of mana, but has the barrier. It looks like will be enough. Jurgensen will get turned on and shut down, going in for one-trick Pornstar. And with that, they actually do slow the T2's advance. And yeah, it is a kill, it is the shutdown going in onto the Braum, will complete his locket. The turret still falls for Aries. And what is the game plan? I mean, yeah, the turret for Aries falls in favor of T2. What do you think is the game plan for Aries right now?
I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to stop the bleeding, you know, try and stop the snowball. But what I think they need to do is definitely clear out vision, so that they might be able to get picks, because, you know, Kwai, he's being very aggressive here, and now they could look to shut him down, but they're just not expecting the damage that he's doing to their team.
It doesn't look like they are, but you know, the Zyra now with the Dark Harvest as well dealing quite a lot of damage. And it's also a preseason, it's a fairly new thing, like you wouldn't see the Zyra buffed up by the rune anytime before, so, you know, they're definitely not blaming anyone for not seeing this one coming, and yeah, we have a lot of damage on the Zyra. However, we also have a lot of damage on the Orianna and Ezreal, so who do you think actually has the edge in a 5 versus 5 fight at this point?
I think with some of the shockwaves that Holberg has been landing in this game, they definitely have potential to get a fight-turning shockwave. I would expect to see some follow-up from the Braum there. You know, that could just snowball into, you know, like a triple kill or an ace, or, you know, just an important pick.
It could, and right now we actually do see Aries successfully, slowly stalling out for a while. However, one thing that I now want to focus on is the general map play. How will these teams play? Because, you know, they have on one side T2 have Jurgensen, who can stay in the side lane but has no teleport, and Ra can probably match him on the Aatrox. So how do you think in the like 1-3-1 or 1-4 style, what do these teams want to opt for when it comes to playing around the Baron?
I think Ra, you know, he generates some pressure on the bot lane to kind of force the T2 members off of the Baron, but whilst the top tower is up, that might be difficult to have control around the Baron area. But for T2, what they want to do is, you know, they want to pressure the mid lane, pressure the outer lanes as well. They definitely have some split pushing potential with the Akali.
And right now, both of these teams want to get this Infernal Drake really badly. They are grouping as 5 around this river, trying to exchange blows, land some skill shots, get themselves some sort of advantage before the fight that actually seems to be imminent. Wintersplit landing onto Kawaii. will not do a whole lot. The dragon has been procced by, I believe that was an auto attack from Zyra, and will actually force both of these teams to fall back. Peachable 6 has access to the infinite duress. We have the glacial fissure as well as the shockwave, so there are team fight starting abilities on both of these teams. You could also see a flash forward with the grasping roots from Kawaii. Both of these teams, like, they do not want to let this dragon go, and I don't know, a fight could erupt any second, so I am just looking for what either of these teams wants to do. It looks like Jurgensen will shove out the wave in the mid lane, which will force Aries to make a decision. Do they want to commit to the dragon? Do they want to defend the mid lane? Looks like they are sending the lazy panda to the dragon. Scuttlecrab has actually been stolen by Holberg. Moki is running low, half HP already. Command attack will not secure more damage. The Scuttlecrab going to the side of Aries will definitely help them find some control, but right now Kawaii just gets delivered with the shockwave. But so does Panda by the Jurgensen, and Jurgensen trying to deal more damage is gonna get exhausted in the backline. The Infernal Chains will get him, and the Darkened Blade secures the kill. Aries already finding 2 kills, make that a 3rd one. 4 down. Toto trying to dish out the damage. Will actually maybe find, will the Explosion Charge be enough? No, it will not. The shield from Oriana will be enough, and Aries secure a 4-for-2 fight.
Great play from both teams. Definitely explosive. But whilst that was happening, both the bot lane and the top lane were pushing in favor of T2. Although they didn't get anything out of that, you can definitely collect both these waves, reset the map, and then maybe look to re-posture around the Baron, not the Baron, the dragon, and pick that up. Because no one actually got the Drake there.
Due to the side lanes, as you talked about earlier, coming in, pushing in favor of T2, Aries actually could not force any objectives right now. We see them regaining some Baron control, and these next 2 or 3 minutes will actually be very deciding. And we see Aries mostly committing vision in the top side, T2 committing some vision in the bot lane. Will now most of it be cleared out, and yeah, looks like the dragon will be actually started by the T2.
I think this is gonna be a free pickup here. Pain's
or will it? Looks like the fight will go in, and the blue team still secures the dragon. Amber will trespass onto Peachable 6, and Lazy Badass kills Jurgensen. Holbrecht is on the rampage. Will Iceland will fall down as the return kill. However, Aries are looking to win yet another fight. They will be chasing Kawaii, who will flash away and will just barely stay alive. Holbrecht will secure it with an auto attack. A 3-for-1 fight. The Infernal Drake might have went for T2, but the fight definitely did not.
Ra picked up the tower here. He's gonna crash that wave into the tower and look for more.
On this Aatrox, he all this time was splitting up. Toto trying to jump forward. He actually does flash onto Holberg, will not secure the kill in the end. The Lazy Panda is trying to come in from behind, does not land the Blaze Reach, and Toto has enough damage to go around. Jumps forward with the rocket jump, nearly finding the kill onto Holberg. But the Locket of the Iron Solari will be enough. He has to burn the heal in return. The turret was taken by Ra in the top side. In the meantime, Moki, he's still trying to look for something. T2, they are not stopping, but they looks like, or will, I don't know what they are trying to do. Moki will just back off in the end. Tonon is too low on the HP, and they are in great danger, so they decide not to go for that. However,
they have been looking for an ult there, the Fear Beyond Death, but kind of greedy for him to go for that.
Yeah, and one thing that I want to pay attention to is how fed Holberg actually got lately. He is sitting on 8, 1, and 6 on the Oriana. 2 items completed, looking towards a death cap. At 30 minutes, he is currently 2000 gold ahead of Jurgensen. And how much of a factor is he going to be in the next fights?
I think as long as he plays safe and gets the shockwave or the dissonant, I think it is, off that he wants, he's gonna do a lot of damage in these fights. And Not a lot of MR has been built on the side of T2.
Right now, LazyBand actually finding a double look up into the double shockwave. Kawaii will drop down, picked up by this by the true shot barrage. The glacial fissure landing onto Dodo, but he will rocket jump away to safety. Moki will get cut down where he stands. Holberg is dominating, and it is 2 picks for Aries. They will now turn towards the Baron.
Now, Jurgensen's in bot lane here, so I think T2 are just gonna concede the Baron here.
The teleport is actually coming into the bot lane by Raki. Well completed, Jurgensen, and able to finish the turret. It is a free Baron for the side of Aries. Peachable6 tried to go in and sniff around the pit, but he could not find anything. It was too late, and we get the Baron on Aries, and they turn the game around for themselves. And right now, we actually see also huge gold shutdown. So yes, Aries technically have the Baron and they are in control. They will be looking to knock down the structures. But just by securing the kill on the Holberg, you get 1000 gold. Totot also has been farming up his shutdown. It is on 900 gold. So how does T2 try and come back into the position they were before the fight, and how does Aries try and snowball with the Baron buff they secured?
I think they need to play a little more safe, because, you know, they're being over aggressive and they're getting punished for it from by Aries. So they need to force a pick onto the Orianna, or maybe Ian or the Ezreal, but it's gonna get very hard in these late team fights, especially with a Braum with items like a Locket and, you know, the barrier of the Orianna actually coming back up.
Yeah, Holberg does have the barrier. That means that any backline dive attempt is going to get cut short. Exhaust is not available on one trick Parent Stun though. That does mean that Jurgensen can get the damage if he finds the flank, but Ra will just walk into the bush and Jurgensen will be forced away. The tier 2 mid lane turret falling for Aries. They will extend their goldie to 2000 gold. Oh, and the shockwave finding Kawaii. Holbeck is godlike now. One of the main damage sources for T2 has been cut down. It's all on Total Jurgensen right now. Can they find the damage? Can they find the picks? Jurgensen cannot. Holbeck on the Orianna is just assassinating people left, right, and center. And the inhibitor turret will be under the siege. It will be taken down. Inhibitor will follow soon. And can Aries actually go for the finish? Right now we see 30-second death timer on Jurgensen. Kawaii will be up in 7 seconds. Totot has got flash and will shorty, but the Jungle Form Orianna will take him down to 200 HP. Pitcher6 trying to go in to do anything, but he cannot do a damn thing. Moki will get brought back with the Infernal Chain. One trick Parson secures the kill. Toto trying to dish out the damage desperately, but it looks like it will be the game. Aries, they will secure the game 1 over T2. And well played from Aries. They managed to turn this game around. It did look like they were going to lose at first, or at least be majorly behind. Then they started finding these fights. Holberg on the Orianna, getting the damage, getting the picks in, and a deserved win from Aries. They will put themselves 1-0 up. And right now, T2, they are actually up against the wall. They need to win the next game to have even a remote chance of trying to get into the promotion games. And getting an 0-2 win feels bad nevertheless. So Acrylex, what do you think will change for T2 coming into game 2?
I think they might try and change up mid lane, bot lane. Maybe go for something that isn't Dyra with fucking Dark Harvest. They may look for something that's more safe, so that they can, you know, survive in these fights, because Holberg scaled. He scaled really well. He rushed the death cap and blew up these carries late game, and They might look to play around the mid lane more to put down parry potential from Holberg, or they may look to play through the bot lane again, but you know, we'll have to wait and see.
And yes, we will have to wait and see, but we will not wait long. We will just go into the short break and we will see you for the game 2 to see if T2 can take us to game 3 or if Aries will take the 2-0 win.
Legends never die when the world is calling you. Can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die, they become a part of you. Every time you bleed for reaching greatness, relentless, you survive. Eternity, but you'll never see the price it costs. The scars collected all their lives. When everything's lost, they pick up their hearts and avenge defeat. Before it all starts, they suffer through harm just to touch a dream. Oh, pick yourself up, 'cause legends never die when the world is calling you. Can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die, they become a part of you. Every time you bleed for reaching greatness, legends never die. When the world is calling out your name, begging you to fight. Pick yourself up once more. Pick yourself up, 'cause legends never die when the world is calling you. Can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die, they become a part of you. Every time you bleed for reaching greatness, legends never die.
Tell me, where do I go?
Hello and welcome everyone, we are back for game 2 between Aries and T2 and we are going into the draft right now. This time Aries on the blue side, T2 on the red side. And what do we think we can expect to be banned?
I think a few similar bans. the Urgot gonna be taken away from Moki here. He did perform quite well on it last game. Maybe looking for an easier matchup for the Orianna. And you actually choosing to ban Ori here? I presume just out of respect or not wanting to deal with that.
Holberg was very influential last game, he was just finding so many kills, and T2 just decided to take it away, so Holberg will be forced to play another champion. Aries now looking for their second ban, and actually both bans so far are the champions that have been played last game. Now with the Lucian it is a throwback ban to the game 1, just still removing it away since Totot has picked up more of these early game AD carries, and even last game on the Tristana he still managed to be ahead in the bot lane, so it definitely makes sense to remove something that he can have even more success on. T2 on the other side, thinking about removing the Braum, which I guess Braum is a strong support. Supports like Braum don't tend to be too flashy, so maybe they think that it was most influential, even though we didn't really pick up on that.
I think what T2 are trying to do here is trying to take away the late game scaling from Ares' bot lane, not allowing them to play safe, and Ares is actually choosing ban Kai'Sa here instead of T2, which is maybe another respect ban coming out here from T2. Like an Aatrox or something similar.
We could be seeing that there is we could I mean there's no reason why not. T2 they are thinking and it is the Aatrox! Superior analyst! Let's go.
Oh.
Well, T2 just decided to remove the 3 picks that Aries went for last game. That does mean though that everything that T2 banned last game is now open, and Aries will not hesitate to lock themselves in the Lissandra.
Actually choosing away from Jurgensen there. I know it's one of his comfort picks, but I feel like he may respond with the Akali again. If not something else, something that could survive in lane more.
We have the Nocturne though. We know that P666 likes to play it. It was banned last game and now he will get his hands on it. So T2 once again trying to look for some early or around level 6 playmaking potential. So what do you think they will try and pick around this Nocturne? Since getting it first pick does suggest that you want to make it a part of your composition.
I think for T2 they could choose... Ooh, actually choosing the Galio here. Actually opting in for the Wombo combo. So maybe they're drafting for a strong team fighting comp instead?
A Galio and Nocturne, if they just fly in from miles away, can wreak havoc in a team fight. So yes, it could be very well a team fighting composition built around these 2 picks. On the other side though, Aries, they are hovering the Xin Zhao. Locking it in would make sense since it is a very solid jungler, has been on top of the meta for last few weeks and can set up ganks pretty easily, especially with Alessandra.
Now I think what T2 here is trying to alleviate some pressure that they felt around the map that Ares was setting up. Ares responding with some strong engage here in the form of an Alistar, and we might see early aggression from Ares' bot lane. Lulu gonna be picked here for Kawaii. Maybe a Xayah might be picked here to finish off the T2 bot lane.
It could be picked, however, with this kind of composition, it could also be some sort of hyper carry. If the Tristana is open, it could very well be picked into this composition, since it just has so many tools to protect that pick. So it will be interesting. Shen banned away though. So I think right now that the Shen is banned away, it is safe to say what I was looking forward to. The other day it was Hunike, Eternus, Kilcore, Abu and me. just throwing around in the normals, and we picked a similar composition. It was Shen, Nocturne, Galio, Tristana, and Lulu. And it's honestly just insane. Like, Tristana jumps into the middle of the fight, she can just stand there, do nothing, press auto attacks, and the rest of the team will still keep her alive if the game goes to 40 minutes. Now with the Shen being removed, unfortunately that is not the case. Tristana is still open, so I think T2 can go for that.
Yeah, I definitely think they want to get the comfort pick to Totot. He did perform quite well last game, and why might be looking to protect him more instead of trying to set up early kills. You know, kind of help his aggression in a way.
T2, they are thinking it will be the Kled, so they actually have a lot of engage with the as well. Both of these teams now with the engage. How do you think these fights will break out?
I think, well, T2, they can force any fight at any time and look for any engage that they want to, but I think Aries, they definitely want to be more careful when it comes to picking fights. You know, they want to make sure that if they commit to a fight, that they can definitely win it.
SVO locked in for the AD carry for Aries. It is a very safe pick, does spike around that mid-game with Lissandra and Zinzao paired up. It will be interesting, Jace as well. So Aries, they are spiking hard around that mid-game.
Definitely looking for some early pressure here. Galio may struggle in the matchup with the Lissandra. You know, he gets out-pushed eventually. Now Jace, Kled, it's kind of a somewhat even matchup. Kled, you know, he can trade very quickly with his attacks as part of his passive, but Jace can look for some all-in potential.
Yes, and it is the Twitch for Team 2. They are going full late game. This Twitch with the Lulu, with the Galio, and Kled Nocturne engage. This guy is not going to get touched at all if T2 managed to scale up. And with that, I would actually want to throw over to a short break. And guys, stay tuned, because these compositions, I dare say they're more spicy than last game. So we'll see you soon.
To hold our heads up high and beat the drum to what we love. Risk the fall, or we have felt it all come crashing down from far above. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding. Only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions of our giants. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we bring to fall the giants? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies, the champions of the world that we defy. A solar ray of the few who rise up high, and we all fight at the last You know who it is, coming round again. You want a dose of this, right now it's KD8. I'm a goddess with a blaze, 소리처럼 내 이름 잊지 못하게 loud, 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 loud. I could take you to the top, 절대 멈추지 못해. 내가 끝내주는 bag, yeah, yeah, yeah. When I start to talk that, oh, you know how to react. I'm a picture perfect face with the wild in my veins. You can hear it in my growl, 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 growl. So keep your eyes on me now. 무엇을 보든 좋아할 거야. 다 할 수 없는 배vo. 나와 되길 원한 늘 확신해. We got it all in our hands now. So can you handle what we're all about? What's so tough? Let's get it, show you up. Can you feel the rush now? Ain't nobody bringing us down, 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 down. They could try, but we gonna wear the crown. You could go another round, 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 round. Wish you luck, but you're not bringing us down. We go hard till we get it, we go hard. We so in it, we pop stars. Only winning, winning now. Ain't nobody bringing us down, 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 down. You ready for this?
Let's go.
See, 언제든지 내 모습 매직 단 한 번에 내가 잡아 절대 기죽지 않지. 펴펴 네가 뭘 알아. 견딜 수 없어 원해도 원하는 게 얼굴에 보여. I'm troubling you running it, I'm so cold. When I move that way you gon' be so blown. I'm the realest in the game. Said I'm on fire with the blade. You're about to hear my name ringing in your head like whoa. So keep your eyes on me now. 무엇을 보든 좋아할 거야. We so tough, let's get it, show you up. Can you feel the rush now? Ain't nobody bringing us down, 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 down. They could try, but we gonna wear the crown. You could go another round, 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 round. Wish you luck, but you're not bringing us down. We go hard till we get it, we go hard. We so in it, we pop stars. Only winning, winning now. Ain't nobody bringing us down, 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 down. 난 멈추지 않아. Oh, we go hard. Oh, we pop stars, stars. Ain't nobody bringing us down, 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 down. They could try, but we gonna wear the crown. You could go another round, 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 round. Wish you luck, but you're not bringing us down. We go hard till we get it, we go hard. We so in it, we pop stars. Only winning, winning now. Ain't nobody bringing us down, 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 down.
Welcome to the wild, no heroes and villains. Welcome to the war, we've only begun. So pick up your weapon and face it. There's blood on the ground, go and take it. You get one shot to make it out alive. So higher and higher you chase it. It's deep in your bones, go and take it. This is your the depths beneath the dirt. Or do you know yet? Or do you want it? And when the giants call to ask you what you're worth, or do you know yet? Win or die. Prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you.
Hello everyone, and we are back for game 2 between TLF T2 and SRG Aries. T2 will be looking to pick up a win to force a game 3, and Aries will try and close it out with a clean 2-0. And are you here with me, Acrylex?
I am.
Alright, well then, let's get back in this, let's get in this game then, because we have a pretty clashing playstyles. On one hand, we have T2 who are just trying to get scaled into the late game with the Twitch, with the Lulu, as well as Galio for the protection. On the other side, we've got Aries, who they don't want to wait. They've got the Jace to bully out the side, and they have Xin Zhao for early ganks, and Ezreal as well, which will spike heavily around the mid game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how T2 play this game. You know, I'm looking to see how explosive these team fights are going to be, and you know, I can't wait to see what I'm gonna do differently in this game.
One matchup that I want to pay more attention to, we have the Jace into the Kled, and Jace is usually known for being the lane bully, but Kled can hold his own. So how do you think this matchup will go?
I think with the sustain that Kled has, you know, be it with his passive of Skull, you know, he can definitely look to be aggressive in this lane, but not overcommitting to that might put his life in jeopardy. And I expect to see good things out of Ra in this lane, because he is a carry player in the top lane, and definitely something I am looking forward to.
Going now towards the junglers, we have the Lazy Panda on the Xin Zhao, that is an early ganking jungler. On the other side, P666 is on a Nocturne, who has a fairly limited ganking potential until level 6. So where do you think the junglers will try and focus their time?
I think with the combo that T2 have set themselves up, you know, Galio and Nocturne can both collapse on a lane, you know, but they really do want to get the switch ahead, because you know, that almost snowballed them to win last game, which was Toto's Tristana. So yeah, a focus for bot lane for T2. For Aries, you know, they can look to either lane here.
Oh, mid lane, Jurgensen is running very low. He does get interrupted on his Justice Punch. The Aftershock has worn off. One Ice Shard and an auto attack will not be enough. Jurgensen barely makes it out with his life.
Great early aggression there from Holberg.
Oh, flash forward from Holberg, flash away from Jurgensen. And we just got some more aggression. The P666 would love to get that Scuttle Crab, but Lazy Panda will easily secure it. Moki, he might have overextended, will get poked back into his passive. One pocket pistol does launch him away, but he just does not have too much movement speed. He does try and dodge away once again, will make it under the turret. Mid lane, Jurgensen is gonna get chunked once again by Holberg. And both solo laners for T2 are already on the back foot.
An explosive start to the game here, as 3 flashes have already been used, and Aries are definitely getting the early game that they want to.
Moki is running very low on his HP right now. He does have the bar nearly up, but Ra can dive him if he wants to. Jurgensen in the mid lane. He will make it out. Lazy Panda just walking in there trying to find something. And we actually already see some CS leads develop across the lanes. We see Ra being ahead, as you would expect the Jace after this kind of positioning mistake for Moki, let's call it. And Holberg, due to his early aggression, finding the CS lead in the mid lane as well. Meanwhile, top lane, Moki does get poked back into his passive yet again.
Being a little over-aggressive there, not having as much HP as he would like to. But we could expect to see something around the jungle here, or the bottom side of the river.
Yes, Lazy Panda and the bot lane are posturing, trying to get control over the Scuttle Crab. P666 really wants to get the second one. He was denied the first one. Todot is trying to come in there on the Twitch, or actually he will just go back into his lane, realizing that there is nothing he can do. One trick Power Star on the Alistar, alright, he will not go for the kill. However, that is both Scuttle Crabs actually going to the Lazy Panda, which will help him with the jungle control, especially if he picks up the remainder of his camps.
Yeah, definitely shutting down the Nocturne in the early game here, as, you know, Nocturne, he just wants to farm up, reach level 6 as soon as possible, and then start thinking with his ultimate. But some great play from Panda there, and Aries.
And denying that possibility for as long as possible, but mid lane Jurgensen does get the taunt onto Lazy Panda. Will get under the turret. Lazy Panda trying to punish the lack of the flash on this Galio. We talked about flashes not being their last game, did not end up to be completely huge this game. That Xin Zhao really wants to play around this flash.
He's looking for these opportunities, but he's just not able to get them, and 6 will get caught in vision here, but Ra just wants to push this wave in and do that, as Moki has no HP.
He's slowly running up on his Rage War, but bot lane we see head up pulverized onto Kawaii, who flashes away. Will not get stand up. Toto taking down some damage. That's a great trade for the Aries bot lane.
Good play from the one trick there. Great knock up onto the Lulu, not allowing her to shield the damage.
And we see how much damage Alistar has in the lane. Even without the ignite, he was able to pretty much bring Kawaii to 200 HP and force him to flash as well. P666 is level 4, he will be posturing around that top lane. Lazy Panda, he's staying bot side, and both of the junglers still have to find a successful gank.
Now, from the play that just happened in bot lane, the Aries bot lane, you know, they got to back early on, and Ezreal, he got to pick up his turret at 6 minutes 30, which is... it is good. It allows him to start stacking it as soon as possible.
That's a knock-up onto Kawaii just before the recall. He has no flash available. One trick Power Star, you didn't even see him in that bush. That's a great play that secures Lil Ice in the kill. I'm just impressed by the reactions because there was no ward and he stepped in the bush and pressed the Q immediately. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Holberg does go into the Frozen Tomb. Jurgensen is out of mana. P666 is there to respawn, and Holberg will not try and go for the kill.
Now the Drake gonna be conceded here. You know, P6 showing up in the mid lane just gives them confirmation that they can get this Drake for free without any contest. Now Panda's actually gonna look for a... no, I thought he would invade, but instead just establishes some vision there.
He will try and make sure that P666 level 6 will be delayed as much as possible, although he is fairly close. He should hit it maybe after the roam or after the next camp. Meanwhile, mid lane, Jurgensen is in one versus 2 situation, flashes away, but Lazy Panda blocks the Justice Punch, and he will get knocked up, slowed down. Holberg throwing the ice shards. Jurgensen, can he make it out? Here comes Paranoia into the mid lane with the Hero's Entrance. P666 flashes forward, but the root will keep him at bay, and no kills will go down.
Great disengage from Holberg there.
And that mid lane fight was so back and forth. Lazy Panda does manage to interrupt first the escape from Jurgensen, then they nearly get him. Then P666 just hits level 6 and goes into the mid lane. Great stuff from both teams. but still, any kills beyond that first blood are to be secured, and we might be seeing something in the top lane. Fight goes in onto Moki, who has no health, has no passive, and will get taken down bot lane. That's a headbutt pulverized onto Kawaii Juice, will get stunned with the trample exhaust down onto Toto. He has this spray and pray, can he use it? He decides not to for now, still holds onto this cooldown, and he will chunk the Alistar to half HP.
Now the exhaust being expended there means that the next engage, this Twitch is gonna have full range to start shooting.
Looking at the top lane, P666 tries to go in for the gank, but Rajas knocks him down to 400 HP. Mid lane, there is some fighting between Holberg and Jurgensen, but Jurgensen goes under the turret. Meanwhile, bot lane, Kawaii will get killed, but here comes the Sprinter Ignite and will secure the kill for the Twitch. Top lane, Moki flashes under the turret, switching back to the bot lane. Toto tries to get the kill onto Panzer, but flashes under the turret. Overall, it was action everywhere, but it ends up being only a 1-for-1 in the bot lane.
Now, only Ra has flash in this game right now. No one else does.
And Moki is low on HP once again without the passive. However, will get saved. P666 in his own jungle will get dropped down by the Lazy Panda, who picks up the kill, and Aries are extending the Goldie to 2000. And with that, we see that right now T2 are actually on a back foot. They have the one kill their team has on the Twitch, but we see that Ra and Lazy Panda are getting some kills, which is worrying, since if this Jace will not be contained, he will be dangerous. And how do T2 try and come back into this game?
Well, as T2 are doing right now, they're looking for a fight in the top lane.
Jurgensen goes in with the Justice Punch onto the Lazy Panda. The Birch up on the roam lands, and Paranoia goes in from the 666. It looks like the jungler will drop down. Lazy Panda will get killed by the P666, and it is one of the kills going in for the T2.
Yeah, some much needed gold going over to the Nocturne there.
That will mean that he will get his items earlier on. And yeah, T2, they will be now looking for these fights. I also want to praise Todot by being so much ahead in the CS. 30 already on the Twitch, and Twitch, he isn't the best lane pick. So it is honestly surprising to see, but I get the pressure from Lulu against an Alistar with exhaust could amount to such a lead.
Now, both teams investing in vision here, but they've chose to invest it around the top side and around the Herald, but it's the opposite for Aries here. You know, they want to know where this Nocturne is, and he's gonna walk in vision now, whilst he's on his blue buff. So Aries know that he's doing it, but he used his ultimate in the last fight, so now he could look for an opportunity, but it's not a definitive kill. His
Paranoia will come up in just 30 seconds. That means that no ganks for the foreseeable future. However, if T2 can hold out this freeze that they currently have in the bot lane, they could be looking for some gank with the Nocturne. So you know, we are going to have to see if P666 tries to go for that. But as you mentioned earlier with the vision, having so much of it in the jungle gives the bot lane of Aries perfect information of what P666 is up to. So finding any gank, even with his ultimate that comes up right now, would be difficult.
Looks like he's looking for something in bot lane here. He was standing still for a moment.
He's looking for something, but top lane we actually see some trade between Ra. Bot lane, Paranoia goes in onto the License, who dashes away with the Arcane Shift. Hero Ascension is going into the bot lane. Totot is trying to dish out the damage. Switching back into the top lane, Ra picks up yet another kill. Up there being 2-0 and 0 on the Jace.
This is what I was talking about before, when the Jace can easily punish the over-aggression from the Kled. And Moki seems to keep walking forward to try and trade, but he's just getting further and further behind in this game.
And yes, he's 2 kills behind. He's 30 CS behind as well on this Kled. He only has the Tiamat and the boots compared to the Yomu's Ghost Blade, which is going to hurt a lot on this Jace. Any item will add a lot of damage, and even the first turret has dropped before the plating. Meanwhile, we might be seeing Aries getting pinched in the mid lane, but looks in the river, I should say. Holberg flashes over the wall. Peach level 6 has the flash available, and the blast code will get them away. Ra teleporting in as well, trying to commit to that dragon.
Good exchange of cooldowns there for T2. The flash of the Nocturne for the TP and a flash on Holberg.
Toto now does use his ultimate, but he will get engaged on by Holberg. He will run very low, and Lil Ison picks up the kill with the auto attack, as well as the dragon going in for Aries. So now they have 2 Ocean Drakes and a 4,000 gold lead. How do they look to extend it?
I think they could definitely look towards the Herald here. If not the Herald, then pressure mid as they're doing right now. You know, that opens up a lot of opportunities for them, and very textbook for Aries. You know, they're very decisive when it comes to making decisions, and you know, they're looking for plays around the map, but they're utilizing what they have, the gold lead that they have.
It will help them. You'd also talked about the Herald. Looks like it will be the focus for Aries right now. Peach level 6 is sitting on a ward behind the pit. Todot is also coming up with Kawhi. Jurgensen has teleport available, but I'm not sure if T2 want to fully commit. The glacial path going in onto Peach level 6, who will get already dropped down. Ultimate coming in from Kawhi, but Peach level 6 will get dropped down nevertheless. Todot cannot find enough damage, and Holberg picks up a free kill, as well as the Herald going in for the Lazy Panda.
And then Aries, straight after picking up the Herald, they rotate to mid, and you know, T2 can't really contest this as Todot doesn't have a flash here, and they're just gonna pick up this tower without any problems.
Extending their gold lead to now 5,000 gold, and Aries, they are looking fairly confidently at a possible 2-0 today. That would put both T2 and Dorado out of any possible contention for the promotion spots, and will put Aries in a very comfortable one, in which they might even have a first shot at getting into Division 1, since the seeding will matter. So Aries, they will be trying to push their hardest to just close this game out, show that they are one of the best teams in Division 2.
Now the Jace actually pressuring this bottom tower so much here, and the T2 bot lane choosing to come down, but Jinjo is here as well.
Yeah, Taunt flash onto Young Ra, and he will get shut down by Totot. However, flash forward from Lazy Panda. Both health bars are very low. Totot will try and run away. Hero's entrance onto him to give him some bonus resistances. Paranoia coming into the bot lane, and Totot picks up the second kill. And this is what T2 needed.
A great ultimate from Jurgensen there, and just well played to Totot there to try and stay alive for as long as he could.
And with these 2 kills, Totot will get some nice gold. He will actually be ahead of his counterpart by about 300 right now. This does come down to the CSD that he currently possesses. He has the most CS in the game. And even though we started talking about Aries potentially closing it out, with this play right now, T2 have a very real chance to scale into the late game.
Now, the whole team of G2 is actually collapsing onto top right now, and they may be looking for a pick onto the Ezreal.
Mokis has the charge available, flash away from Lil Ison. I believe he still has the Arcane Shift. Moki will not commit, and the headbutt will force him away.
Flash being used there. T2 should be very happy with that. Just getting the flash for free there.
Yeah, it does allow them to maybe look for some picks later, but talking about picks, Moki, alright. One trick Parnstarn will not overcommit, but right now Jurgensen might find himself in a 1 versus 3 in the bot lane. He will back off though and concede this turret. Herald will be popped down as well. Totot will get spotted on the ward. Lil Ison just jumping forward, trying to dish out some damage. And Aries, they will be going for the push. What can T2 respond with?
Now Nocturne's coming down, doesn't have his ultimate.
Oh, that's a great glacial tomb onto Kawhi, pops him down immediately. Right, going in onto Jurgensen. The Herald will be allowed to charge once again. T2 finding themselves in a 4 versus 5 situation on the map. They cannot really stop this push, or can they? The Taunt landing onto Holberg, and Todot comes in with this sprint break, shut down, landing onto P666, Paranoia going in onto Ra, and Todot is on the killing spree. Now it looks to be the chase down onto the Lazy Panda. Can they find the kill? Can they find the CC? Yes, they will, and Todot is 5-1-0 on the Twitch.
A great play from D2 there, collapsing onto the over-aggression from Aries. But meanwhile, in the top lane, Moki can't do anything against this bot lane.
Yeah, Moki really cannot find any wave through. No flash available on Lil Ice, and the charges still are off cooldown for the Colette. The Venom Cask will slow one trick parcel, and here comes the Colette charge onto the Alistar. He has the flash available. Will he be able to flash? No, he will not. Todot is unstoppable on the Twitch right now, and the Dragon as well will go in favor of T2. That is an Infernal with a Twitch composition.
That is definitely something that they were looking to pick up. The Infernal just guarantees that this Twitch is going to be strong in the late game no matter what.
Forward with the Ring of Frost, and it is the shutdown. Great pick coming in from the Lissandra, getting them the gold. And with that now, Aries, they have killed the Twitch. Realistically, there isn't really too much damage. We have the P666 on the Nocturne who can do something, but Todot on the Twitch was the main person. Taunt landing onto Holberg. The turret has dropped down already. Holberg will go down as well. Hero's entrance to save the jungler, but will not commit into anything else. It is a turret for a kill trade.
Jurgensen forced to use his ultimate there to prevent any further engage, but P6 gets spotted out by Vision. And you know, if we could talk about Vision, just for a moment, you know, both teams have a decent amount in the top lane, but when it comes to the bot lane, Aries have complete control over the bot side jungle here, and you know, they could definitely look to pressure and get this tower without any contest from T2.
The only person with the teleport right now is Moki, and we have seen him in the side lane. He is struggling to really find any control. However, I like what T2 are doing. They are looking to clear out the wards and get control over this Baron that has now spawned. So even though Aries have some nice vision in the bot side, I think that the vision around Baron is more valuable for T2.
Six was going to show himself in the top lane there, but smartly chooses to back off and not give Aries any info on where he is on the map.
Kawaii Juris was actually forced to flash on the Lulu, as I believe that Holberg was confronting him in the topside jungle. That does mean that this Lulu is now an easy pick. And you know, we're talking about Todot and how he could take over the fights. Well, one of the main conditions is that Kawaii stays alive and can just shield him and give him that sweet ardent sensor that he is working towards. So if he falls down, it could turn out to be bad. However, right now Todot is actually looking for a flag. Jurgensen trying to go in, has the flash available, decides not to go for it. Todot will catch on to one trick Parstar, who will flash away after knocking 3 members of T2, but will just get knocked up and run down. Moki picking up the kill.
Jay's gonna start walking up to the Baron here, but actually chooses to stay for the tower instead. Now T2 may look to get the Baron here, but it looks like they're just going to
landing onto Lazy Panda. Moki going in, finding the kill. Todot still on the Twitch unseen. The turret has fallen, and Ra looks like he will not push for the inhibitor turret. Todot still is camouflage, has the ultimate, and he opens up with the sprint break. However, Holberg goes in. Kawaii Juris uses the wild roll. Johnny asks from Holberg to buy more time. Todot uses the Venom Cast and will secure the kill onto Holberg. Lil Ice now retreating under the turret. Todot trying to go in with the camouflage, but is too low on the Twitch and will not go for it. Paranoia, however, going in under the turret. Great stopwatch, and watching Parstar trying to find CC onto P666, but will not be able to.
Now the Jay is actually threading the inhibited turret here in the bot lane, and
Todot, that's unlucky.
That is unfortunate. I think the Runans there actually got him killed.
Yeah, P666 meanwhile behind the Baron pick, he gets popped into the Guardian Angel. If this ends up to be another kill in favor of Aries, it could prove to be disastrous as the Baron is out. Blastcone will take him away to safety. So P666 is still alive, but it's still 17 seconds on total.
Now Aries maybe looking just to commit and get the Baron free here while P6 backs.
It is the jungler
vision of this.
Yeah, P666 has no real way of getting back into the Baron pit soon enough. He cannot do this, and looks like the Baron will just go for free unless Jurgensen can find something. He has no flash, and the possibility of sealing it with a Galio is low. Kawaii and Jurgensen can still try. The smite is available on Lazy Panda. The Winds of War have been used already. Glacial Path will zone any potential still. It looks like the Baron will go towards Aries. However, right now, Ryan, the bot lane, he will get just cut down 1 versus 3. The Baron still going for Aries, but totaled with yet another kill.
Now Ra didn't back off in time there, so he was just forced to give up his life for the Baron, and it looks like T2 want to pick up the next Infernal, and that's gonna work really well with their comp with the Twitch.
Yeah, it will definitely help them. Now they are looking to secure yet another dragon. It is a Cloud Drake, but it will help them once the Elder Dragon will spawn if the game goes on for long enough. And taking an evaluation of the game state, we see that Aries are ahead by 3000 gold. They have also the Baron buff, so they could be looking to siege down T2, but with Twitch already hitting 2 items, Galio working towards his second one and slowly stacking the Rod of Ages, there are going to be increasing amounts of damage. And do you think if it goes to late game, how much chance do Aries have of still getting it if we are going into 40 minutes?
As long as Holberg doesn't get the perfect engage onto Hotot, I think he definitely has like the possibility to decimate their whole team with the amount of damage that he has right now.
And the Ardent Sensor has been completed on Kawaii finally as well. This will give a significant spike to Toto's damage on this Twitch. And if he can find that flank, if he can find the damage, then as you said, he can just decimate the entire lineup of Aries. However, Aries also have the ways of blowing him up. Rise sitting on double lethality items, and Holberg's Lissandra has consistently been going into the backline to find these picks. So even though T2 technically outscaled, it's still a hard job for them.
Yeah, T2 have definitely set them up to have a difficult execution, but if they execute it correctly...
Oh, Paranoia going into the mid lane. The Hero's entrance going in onto P666. However, Rice trying to re-engage. That is a double tone. Toto trying to spray out with the Twitch ultimate. He will find nearly all the health that is exhausted. It's already 3 kills for T2. They will find the fight. However, Toto might just drop down. No, he will not. It is a clean ace on the top of the Toto's damage. A triple kill for Jurgensen. And T2 are back in the game.
Instantly go to push down mid here, try and close that gold lead and look to even extend it in their favor. Great play from Totot there to stay alive and just, you know, damage the whole lineup, and they could look for an inhibitor here.
They definitely could look for the inhibitor. Lazy Panda is still 5 seconds away from respawning, and they have more than enough damage to take this objective. I do believe that they will back off after this, because it is just too risky, and we saw them win a fight convincingly, and yeah, there's just no reason to throw it.
Yeah, the last 10 minutes of this game have definitely gone in T2's favor. This Twitch pick was definitely something that you know, is working out very well here, but
working well.
Just running for his life here.
Yeah, P666, he tried to go for some blue buff steals. However, there's no reason to really risk his life, because we just saw what T2 can do when they find the right fights. Especially, yeah, the Twitch pick right now, it's gonna hit really hard. I believe he actually has the goal to complete the Infinity Edge. Does pick it up at this exact second. Aries still trying to gain their lead back. Will siege this top lane turret. Double tone coming in from Jurgensen onto the Lazy Panda, who uses the Crescent Guard. Has to flash away already.
Now Aries getting a little over aggressive there, trying to take the tower, and you know, they were forced to use some cooldowns in the process of that. Definitely a win for T2 there. The tower stays alive and they get the cooldown of the Shin, which is actually some of their engage.
Yes, that is definitely very good. The mid lane inhibitor will create constant pressure around this, and now T2 they actually have some room to play around the objectives they want. They could force something in the bot lane, they could just go for that vision control. Looks like they will be trying to play around this dragon. The next dragon will be another Infernal. If they can secure that, then Totod is going to hit like a train in these fights.
Yeah, they could definitely stall this out to Elder here, and then Totod will be unstoppable. His damage output will be insane. But in order to do that, they need to set up vision, get the mid lane pushing, which it kind of already is.
Ooh, we might be seeing some fight there being initiated. The glacial path from Holberg will not be followed, and Jurgensen tries to find the taunt. Totod trying to dish out the damage. The fight is in a full-blown swing. Totod still has access to his ultimate, and Aries decide to back off since they could not find the pick. But Holberg is on the wrong side of things, will take the glacial path to relative safety, tries to go in onto Totod. Can he find the pick? Can he find the kill? No, he cannot. Pick Triple Six is on a killing spree, and the dragon has respawned and been started by T2.
I'm not sure if they will commit to this because they know that the Jinzhou is around. They are posturing for another team fight here.
It looks like they just want to let Aries start it and try and punish any mistakes that they would make in the meantime. And yet, right now it just comes down to these vision wars, both of these teams wanting to make sure that if they commit to this objective, that it will be the best shot they can guarantee themselves right now. The game is stalling in the 30th minute, and with each second it's going to be more intense as Totod will just pick up more and more damage on this Twitch, and with all that protection it will be very difficult for Aries to kill him. However, right now we might be seeing a fight. Taunt charge up for Jurgensen, he flashes for it and finds it onto Lil Isen, who immediately flashes where Jurgensen might get cut down. Totod dishing out the damage. The dragon has been secured by the T2. However, Holberg going in with the glacial claw. Can he find the kill? No, he cannot. That is just too much CC. He goes into the zone. Totod has to be very careful. The ice shard will not be enough. Pitch level 6 is on a rampage, and T2 secured 2 kills and the Infernal Drake.
Now, Holberg didn't actually have his ultimate there available during that fight. It only came up just after he died, and you saw how much health Totod just barely lived on, so there is still a chance for Aries to get the pick that they need here, and it may look like to want to force a play for Baron, but in order to do that, they need to establish some vision control in the top side jungle for Aries here.
Yeah, Aries definitely need to secure vision control. Right now, both of the teams actually do. We see both teams' inventories just being stacked with control wards. They will want to make sure that they can't get this Baron, since this isn't an objective that you want to contest lightly. I mean, give up lightly. So, yeah, both of these teams now, we will see the Baron dance. Both of them trying to find the picks, but Ra might be in the bad spot. Paranoia going in onto the Jace. Moki is on the rampage. This pick could be what T2 decides to use to force the Baron, or they could look for the fight. Lazy Panda tries to re-engage. The glacial path has been used, but Totod is on the flank, and he is just going to go in, and he is just spraying and piercing and slaying Aries as they find the ace, and they will look for the Baron, or they could look for the mid lane push.
Great play from T2 there, finding themselves a way to close out this game now. All of them are gonna group mid here and look to end here.
And T2, they will look for the comeback when there's still 16 seconds on Ra. They will look for the next stars, and looks like they might have enough damage. And with the Twitch pick of all things, T2, they will take us to game 3, and they will give themselves the shot at potential promotions in the future. And really well played from T2, honestly. They did fall behind early, but they were able to climb back into the game, and they will be taking us to game 3. So what do you think we can expect from both of these teams now going into the third game?
I think T2 may look for something similar in game number 3. You know, they found that the scaling comp worked really well for them, but I think Aries might draft something a little bit more defensive on their side to help prevent the all-in engage from T2.
Alright, well with that we will go into the short break, and guys, get ready for the game 3 because we will go into it just after we come back. Alright, hello and welcome everyone. We are in game 3 between TLF, T2 and Aries. Champions select now. T2 on the blue side, Aries on the red side. And I feel like this game we might be just seeing a combination, for bans, a combination of picks from the two games, because the team that lost the match in the series, they probably really dislike the champion. But however, the Kaiser ban is a constant this match.
The Nocturne gonna be taken away here as well. They don't want to deal with the all-engage. Archark's gonna be taken away here as well. They don't want to give it in the hands of Ra.
Yes, we see also Aries banning away the Nocturne and the Zinzao, as well as the Lissandra, so pinching the jungle pool quite a bit. On the other side, as you said, Aatrox taken away from Ra, who has had a good game 1, game 2 it was banned as well, so once again he will be forced onto something like the Jace, or maybe another carry top laner that he sees fit. T2, however, will have the Ergot and will lock it in, probably for their top laner.
It's good in the hands of Moki, able to sustain the pressure of lane, and you know, he doing a lot in these team fights, and Aries choosing to draft a more aggressive bot lane here, so maybe looking to shut down Tot and not allowing him to scale.
Yeah, we see Lucian Brom, however, that's a very strong lane. Lucian has been banned, I believe, in 2 previous games. Right now it has been left open and Aries just decided to log that one in for themselves. And if T2 decide to go for something like the Twitch, they will find it much harder. They do go for the Alistar for support though.
Tot might go for maybe the Tristana this time instead. Just, you know, just because they won't have any fields in the bot lane. Instead, you know, he wants mobile to kind of prevent the all-in engage from Aries.
Right, that is a Vayne hover though. It looks like T2 will actually go for it, so Tot once again on a late game hyper carry.
Something I've seen him play yet, but I'm excited at the same time, because, you know, I'm sure that he definitely do things with Vayne. That bot lane might be difficult, especially with the Braum shield.
And now with the Camille locked in, presumably into the jungle, the threat of dive with the Glacial Fissure and the Hextech Ultimatum and the Lucian damage onto that Vayne becomes so much more imminent from Aries. They could be looking to exploit that bot lane, especially since Lucian is a pick that you really want to get ahead. Much more before, much earlier than Vayne comes online. We saw last game what happens when Aries let Tot scale, and this is not something that they really want to repeat.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to stall out the game here, so they're drafting something that's a lot more aggressive, that has a lot more pick potential, more so than last game. I think the Camille ult, they definitely want to lock down Tot and kind of prevent him from loads of damage.
Galio now also removed from Aries. They decide that they do not want to let T2 build that kind of composition where their hyper carry just remains untouched by no matter what you throw at him. T2 still thinking about their last ban. Wukong was their first one, which kind of makes sense with that composition. If Aries would have that on top of them, then they would find themselves with insane engage. So getting that one off the table will help them to achieve that late game Vayne potential. Jax is well going to be removed as the last ban, and now Aries going in with the pick. What do you think they're gonna look for?
They may look to draft the Jace again, although into the Urgot it's not something that performs too well. They may look to also pick for Jorgensen, but I doubt that.
It is the Mumu, so that implies that the Camille is going into the top lane and we're going to see an engaged tank jungler.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be able to shut down all of that team, actually. Especially with the follow-up from a Camille and a Braum. They've definitely drafted something that's a lot more teamfight heavy than last game.
Yes, alright, that is a Hecarim. So, okay, how do you think this Hecarim will fit in the T2 composition?
I think he wants to be proactive in the early game. I think it's a similar style to Nocturne, you know, kind of bomb until 6, but he can look pre-6 for ganks well. But yeah, it definitely has some strong pick potential at level 6.
T2, they are pulling another spice. They are going for the Aurelian Soul, the roaming god of the mid laners, and it is going to be against the Lux. So, do you think, what are we focusing this game? What both of these teams are trying to do?
Aries, they want to shut down Tut Tut. They don't want to let him scale, and you know, it's apparent in the draft. They have a lot of stuns, a lot of lockdown CC, whereas T2, they have Tut Tut on the Vayne, but also the addition of Jurgensen on Aurelian Soul. So they definitely have strong damage outputs, and you know, they want to look for these knockups, these Hecarim ultimates. They could look to snowball this game.
Alright, well, just a reminder what this game actually means for both of the teams. Aries, they are trying to secure the top of the table in Division 2, get themselves into the promotions, possibly as a first seed. If not, then they will be looking to fight for the second. On the other side, T2, they have so many different conditions that need to lock in for them to make it to the promotions. But one of them is to not lose ON2 today. They already did that. They can make them put them in themselves in a better spot. However, we will now go into the break. So join us to see after we'll be back in 5 minutes to see who will take the game 3 and who will take the win today.
Tonight I'm coming out the shadows. Long time coming, gonna get what's mine. I'm here standing at the doorway, staring down my glory. It's my time. 'Cause I'm a light in the darkness. I'm a bullet in the gun, that's me. My heart, it beats like a bass drum. Come and let me get some. Never gonna back.
Hello and everyone, we are back for Game 3 between TLF, T2 and Serenity Gaming Aries. So can we get some Game 3 hype in the chat, boys, because this game is gonna be fun. I'm Kachka, joined by Acrylex. Hello, man.
Hello everybody, and I am excited to be in game number 3 here. I'm excited to see what both teams are gonna do.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
And looks like we are gonna get one of the boring level 1s, however that does give us time to talk about the matchups and the compositions a little bit more. So, we've got a disparity in the AD carries. We have Vayne, who is very late game oriented. On the other side, we've got Lucian, who is very much early game oriented. And I honestly don't think that supports on their own will make anything happen, so my eyes are mostly on Jurgensen's or Valiant Soul if he can find the roams into the bot lane, combine that with P666 gang and find some picks.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah, it's definitely something to be mindful of. His roaming ability is very strong, but up in the top lane we have Camille versus Urgot, which is a matchup that favors the Camille in the early levels due to the amount of true damage that she offers. But at level 6 it can become more even with the Fear Beyond Death.
Yeah, Origo does have that potential to try and bully out the Camille. The thing is, it will be a ticking time bomb, because a late game Camille in the side lane is something that no one really wants to match. So I believe that it will be mostly about how these teams try and get their respective win conditions ahead in the early game. For Aries, I'm looking how do they try and get Lil Ison ahead, or Ra on this Camille, try and get him to some more items. Whereas T2, they really want Toto to hit 2 to 3 items and take the game over just like last game.
Yeah, Aries definitely want to play around some of the early aggression that they've drafted, as well as the item power spikes, especially on the Camille with Sheen after an early back. That can be something that offers even more damage on top of her kit. But yeah, they're gonna have to just play it safe, be mindful of their aggression, and just make sure that Totot gets the items that he needs, or they try and force in an all-in engage.
Moki's once again going to get pushed under his tower. We saw that they did give Lazy Panda some freedom to go and ward the blue buff, which will give him information about the position of P666. But now he will get stunned by the Star Surge in the river, and it is the first blood going to T2 onto P666's Hecarim.
A good roam from Jurgensen there, just making sure that P6 is able to pick up that scuttle and kill here.
And with that kill on the Hecarim, he could be looking to try and punish Lazy Panda's pathing. He's finding himself already ahead in CS, more than twice the jungle CS of the Amumu, which will mean that yeah, he could be very scary on the Hecarim, especially once he goes back to the base and gets his boots to activate the Predator.
Yeah, those Predator boots are an important part of Hecarim's early ganking ability. And speaking of early ganking ability,
he might be looking for something in the bot lane, but the hookshot will get Ra to relative safety. So no gank, no kill ganks yet apart from that mid lane play. However, where do you think that both of these junglers will focus their attention?
I think P6 definitely has roaming potential all around the map, especially with Predator. But I think he may focus towards either Jurgensen's lane or Totot's lane. But for Aries, you know, they definitely want to get either the Lucian ahead or the Camille.
So we could be seeing quite a bit action around the bot lane. So far it just looks like Lil Ison will push in Totot, and both of the junglers will commit their time towards the side lanes. As you said, that is also an option for them. We see just the early game power fusion. However, mid lane, Holberg is already ignited down under the turret, does use the barrier and will get to safety.
A lot of sums being used mid lane, the Ignite from Jurgensen and both summoner spells from Holberg.
That will be very huge, since P666 will be able to try and punish this lack of summoners. He can just gank this lane and he will know that Holberg cannot flash away and would not even have the barrier available to try and shield himself. So far, however, after that first blood, not too much kills, not too much crazy trades. We see in the bot lane just Lil Ison and One Trick Parnstar consistently applying pressure. Moki in the top lane did get back up in CS and is no longer just pushed in by Ra mindlessly. And yeah, we just saw that gank in the mid lane. We see Jurgensen now trying to translate his pressure into the bot lane, but Lil Ison and Parnstar will just back off.
Yeah, they spotted him out with an early ward there, but Aries possibly looking for a collapse here.
Yeah, we could be seeing something played onto Jurgensen. He has no mana. Lil Ison goes in already. P666 in the backline trying to run away. Will be able to do so. Kawaii Juice in the middle of everyone, and Holberg will pick up the kill onto P666. The final spark secures the double kill. Totot looks to try and get away, but he can he flash forward from the Lazy Panda? The bandage toss will secure the kill, and Aries are finding themselves with 3 picks.
A lot of summoner spells being used there from both teams. Now Totot doesn't have any summoner spells, but neither does the bot lane from Aries, apart from the flash onto the Lucian.
However, with these kills, Aries will look at a 1000 gold advantage, and most of that gold did go onto Holberg, who will be sitting on quite a significant amount. He does line the binding and is able to push Jurgensen under the turret, but P666 goes into the mid lane with the devastating charge. Jurgensen is running very low, and the auto attack will actually finish him off. The light binding from Holberg, can he get away? He has no mana, and he will get the kill on the gank and get away without burning anything.
Yeah, P6 kind of unfortunate there. Only after the gank, his Predator boots came up. Maybe some miscommunication there from T2, but well played to Holberg for staying alive there and turning it around to get a kill onto Jurgensen.
And now at 7.5 minutes, he's already sitting on components towards his Luden's Echo. We all know that feeling when a Lux gets fed and you just get one-shot by it. And Holberg just wants to do a repeat of game 1 when he just ran around that time on the Orianna and one-shot everyone. Well, this time he looks to repeat it on the Lux.
Yeah, his ultimate came back up as well onto the flashless Aurelion Soul, so he could possibly look for another engage here.
He could be looking, but looks like both of these teams will decide that they don't want to overcommit right now. And yeah, T2, they still have the potential scaling on the Vayne, but it's only 8 minutes and they're already falling behind. So how do T2 try and make sure that they get this game to stall for long enough?
Yeah, they definitely need to be more careful when they pick their fights. I think some miscommunication kind of got Jurgensen killed when he tried to gank mid. But yeah, T2 definitely need to stop the bleeding, stall out the game, make sure that Vayne hits a power spike before committing to an all-in engage. But Panda may actually be looking for a lane gank in the bot lane here.
He is walking into that brush with a controller that has got the Curse of the Sun Mummy available. Holberg is also making his way down now. The T2 bot lane knows something is brewing and they will just back out under their own turret, but the dive threat is still there. Can Kawaii and Totot survive the onslaught? Will Aries even go for it? Lazy Panda is still sitting there. Holberg is in the bot side river. He will avoid that control ward in the Trivish. P666 is only making his way down towards this bot side. We could be seeing a 4 versus 2 dive. However, I believe that Holberg might have been spotted by the minion wave while trying to go for this boot, for the bush, and Aries will just try and take this turret. One plating has been taken already. However, here comes P6 with the onslaught of shadows, bringing Krasnodar down with him, but that's a two-man final spark secures the double kill for Holberg. Total will make it out under the turret, but the lax damage is coming in huge.
While that was happening at bot, Urgot Moki tried to commit to an all-in on Ra. Unfortunately, just missed his Fear Beyond Death, not able to get the kill.
However, Banish Toss by Lazy Panda does find a stun. However, no light binding from Holberg. Voice of Light from Jurgensen to try and get the disengage. At the end of the day, it is just more kills going in favor of Holberg.
Yeah, he is starting to build up quite a substantial gold lead here.
Oh, that is another final spark. Toto just barely tumbles away from the Lucent Singularity. Holberg now forced to flash away. This could make it much easier to secure this 800 gold shutdown.
Yeah, I'm not sure he needed to use his flash just then. There shouldn't have been any follow-up from T2 there, as they were all just walking to lane. But yeah, it definitely makes the ganking potential for P6 a lot easier. Although Holberg has now completed his Luden's Echo.
And he even has the stopwatch. This guy will dish out the damage and he will stay safe. It is only 11 minutes in, and Aries, they are looking to snowball just like they did last game. The question remains, can they close it out unlike they did last game?
Yeah, they made a few errors last game. They didn't quite expect the Twitch to do the amount of damage that he did. And it just came at a point where the Twitch was both unkillable and dealt an insane amount of damage, but I think now that they're aware of that, I don't think they should try and stall this game out.
However, Kawaii might get caught out in the bot side where he will get stand up with the concussive blows. That's pop the break will flash use already, but Lil Ison picks the kill up.
Great play from Aries there, just able to collect on Kawaii there. Out of position now, they're looking to get the bot lane tower as well here. But P6 is rotating down, although I'm not sure if he's able to do much.
Looks like 4 members of Aries will try to siege this turret down. 3 plating still there. This will reduce the damage they deal. However, looks like there will be no response coming in from the side of T2. However, the mid lane turret could be under attack right now. I will just check it right now, which will be fall down first. Looks like bot lane will very much be the first turret to fall. So Aries secure the first turret blood. Now the question is, can T2 get the mid lane in return?
Not able to find the response tower there, but Holberg pathing to mid here. It might get caught out.
It goes very much the wrong way. The CC chain onto him, barrier as well. Ignite down, he goes into the storage, but the rest of the team is there to try and help him. Voice of Light going in, but a great combo. It is another double final spark into the double final kill, and Holberg just gets his 7th kill just like that.
A lot of summoner spells used there on the side of Aries, but well worth by the end, saving the tower, able to pick up the double kill onto an already fed Lux.
This guy is just finding so much. However, the setup from his team is also insane. When Lazy Panda found that curse, that AoE stun, when then One Trick Palm Stun followed it up with the Glacial Fissure, setting up the double kill was just the matter of pressing the R button. But really well played from Aries. They are playing so well around the lead that they have. Holberg just bought the stopwatch and he bought so much time that he even managed to turn the fight around. And Aries, they are sitting at a 3000 gold lead already. Right now we actually see the swap coming in from Aries. Camille will be sent into the bot lane. She is still sitting on the components of the items she wants. Hasn't really been the focus of the game, more like sitting on an island, just farming it out, trying to get the items she needs. We also see Moki will be squaring up against Lil Ison and One Trick Parnstarn in the top lane. So we're going to have to see how that one works, but what do Aries try and do now to make sure that they don't give T2 the time they need?
I definitely think, you know, I commend them for trying to push top tower in, but they need to defend mid as well to make sure that T2 don't get any map control.
And right now we could be seeing a kill going on to Moki. He flashes it, but exhaust is down. The license one star shot, the second one, and will the third one go in? No, it will not. Holberg in the river. He does get feared by the onslaught of shadows, brought back into the team, and it's a 1000 gold shutdown going in for Jurgensen.
Great play from T2 there, just able to catch out the Lux while she was pathing to top there. Great play.
They managed to cash in on that huge shutdown. Moki does fall down under the tower dive by Lil Ison and Parnstarn in the meantime. However, the gold is very much worth for T2 right now. They will also be getting the priority onto Herald, it looks like. And Todot is actually able to hold Ra solo in a side lane.
Yeah, I think with the threat of true damage from the Vayne, he's just able to sustain, especially with the Bilgewater Cutlass here. The lane sustain just offers him so much priority and opportunity to just stay in that lane, push the Camille in and make sure that she can't generate any pressure.
And also with that pick onto Holberg, T2 secure themselves the Herald, so they are trying to find these opportunities to claw back in this game. However, still, Holberg is very strong at this point, and so is Lil Ice, and he already hit one item, and it is a mid-game Lucian. So even though T2 are finding these opportunities, they still very much need more time and more resources to truly get back in this game. And in the top lane, Moki might be in some trouble. He tries and goes with the disdain. The Winter's Bite will attack him, but he will be allowed to go away to safety in the exchange for what will likely will be the top lane turret. But Jurgensen goes in with the Comet of Legend, does not find this stun. Triple 6 tries to go in, the Onslaught of Shadows is not available. He will not find the devastating charge back into the team, and looks like Lazy Panda, Parnstarn, and Lil Ison will all make it back alive.
Now, T2 may be looking to use the Herald here top, although I suspect they shouldn't. Because, you know, the bot lane of Aries is there, but whilst that was happening, Lux actually just gets mid tower for free here.
That is definitely not a good sign. You don't want to be conceding objectives, and the mid lane turret will allow for greater map control, but right now we might be seeing Holberg being in trouble in the mid lane. Kawaii goes in under the turret with Headbutt Pulverize, does find the stun with the Trample Light Binding, landing onto P666. Kawaii has already dropped. Can P666 find the kill? No, he cannot. He will actually drop down as well. The double kill for Holberg, he does it again.
And another amazing outplay from Holberg there, just able to turn these situations around. Maybe a miscommunication there between P6 and Jurgensen, not quite committing to the play like they should have done, but well played to Holberg.
Holberg is actually consistently finding these under the tower outplays. In game 1 we saw his Orianna multiple times denying dives like this. This time, once again, finding the double kill on a failed dive from T2. Honestly, this guy is so insane. He currently holds 11 out of 12 kill participation. Can't be asked to work out the percentage. And he's holding 9 of the 12 kills that his team has. He's 1700 gold ahead of his counterpart and is sitting on 2 items already.
Aries are looking to pick up the dragon for free here. You know, not Jurgensen, Holberg's pathing down, definitely able to threaten any engage that T2 have.
Yeah, and the Infernal Dragon has been started by Aries, will also be easily secured. Light Binding, landing onto P666, will deny any engage, does a great stun with the Banish Loss, the Curse of the Sapami, rules the heck of him down, and he will get taken down. Parnstarn taking the kill.
Aries just gonna clear out some vision here in the bot side jungle.
And with that pick and with the Infernal Dragon, they will be looking to try and snowball the lead and actually take it all the way this game. They are sitting at 4,500 gold, it's 3 towers to 0. Holberg is huge right now, he can just find these picks. Jurgensen will be able to clear out the wave. However, he does get stuck by the line by the binding, which will not result in a kill, and Aries will just back off.
Yeah, just gonna concede the fact that they can't siege mid tower at the moment. Instead, maybe reset, buy some items. just get stronger. Careful with how they play this game so that they don't stall too much, so that this Vayne can obviously scale up. But they're also making, proactive plays to get objectives and towers.
The Herald now has been summoned in the top lane. Looks like both Holberg, or actually Holberg only will make his way up there with Ra to deny it from taking any towers. It might still get one charge. It could be enough to take down this turret. It actually will be. So T2 getting themselves some much needed gold, but not really the exact thing that they wished for when they secured this Herald.
Yeah, I believe the Herald was about to run out there.
Oh, mid lane, we might see some fight. Jurgensen is gonna get slowed down. Does flash away from the bandage toss. Moki trying to go into Little Ice, and he does get exhausted. Teleport is coming in from Ra. Todot is still able to the final spark. Will get dodged away from him. Here comes Big 666 with the onslaught of shadows. He does find one kill, but is it really enough? Ra goes in with the Hextech ultimatum. He does find the kill onto Big 666 and goes away with the flash. Todot has only now joined the fight, and it goes a 1-for-1 in the end. Oh, Holberg finding the kill onto Kawaii, is on a killing spree and will make it a 2-for-1.
Yeah, meanwhile that fight was happening, Tot was pathing his way from bot to mid. I don't think they expected Aries to commit to that, but a great play there from Aries, able to come out on top there.
Yeah, they did get 2 kills compared to 1. However, that does leave more opportunity to scale. Holberg now, he will look to find the one shot on the Jurgensen, will not quite get it. The Merc Treads and all the HP from the Rylai's as well as the Reward of Ages will make sure he stays alive. P666 might be looking for some sort of a flank, but he sees the 4 members of Aries grouping up and will just back off. And the Baron has been spawned right now, and Toto does not look like he wants to get away from this bot lane. So how do T2 actually try and play this game without bringing in what effectively is a Vayne that cannot do any damage?
They definitely need more proactive, because at the moment they're letting Aries dictate the pace of the game, whilst their Vayne just slowly scales up, and as we can see here, Aries might actually be looking to start the Baron here.
Todot will just stay down in the bot lane trying to get the turret, however it might be traded for the Baron. Holberg will stay on the guard, trying to find a kill onto Kawaii, who will pop his triumphant roar, or the unbreakable will I should say, and the Baron will go down. Lil Ison secures it, no smite needed. Todot will just stay in the bot lane, try and pick up more CS, but that is a Baron for Aries.
Yeah, not exactly a worthwhile trade. I can see what Totot wants to do, he wants to get his items, but he's actually put himself in quite a risky position here.
Yeah, he could not make it out with the recall. I'm not sure if Ran knows he could be recalling here. Looks like he will not even try and check, will just clear out the wave, and Totot will make it back to base. But they're still behind 1 Baron buff.
Yeah, now I think Aries just wants to group here and make sure that they actually close the game out successfully and not stall enough. Make sure that this Vayne becomes a problem.
The turret in the mid lane is running low on HP. However, oh, that's a double binding into the final spark, completely deletes Moki Kawaii. They stay alive with slivers of health. This could be the opening that Aries needed to break that turret open.
Gonna take it slow here, make sure that they win this next fight.
They will also be looking for the inhibitor turret siege. However, right now line binding onto Jurgensen, and here comes the also those shadows. That's a huge trip, but there's no one to follow up. Totot on the Vayne trying to dish out the damage. He does though get binded up. Will he get taken out? No, he will not. It is just 1 pick for Aries. They find another binding onto Moki, who is already dropped down. This surely will be the inhibitor turret going down.
Inhibitor gonna be picked up by Aries here now. They may be looking to pick up the Drake as well, just to kind of further their lead and kind of help with their slow siege. Yeah, Moki needs to be more careful in these fights because he's only started to build MR right now. can easily get blown up by
Holberg
Holberg.
looking for another pick, will not find it, has not got access to his ultimate. And Holberg is just playing this obnoxious game where he will place down a control ward and camp in that bush and hope he can one-shot someone.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to exploit the lack of vision control for T2 here, which is, you know, it's a great idea, but T2 definitely needs to be more careful when it comes to walking into their own jungle. They just need to be aware that Aries have a lot of pressure, that they are in control of the jungle at the moment.
We see the gold is slowly rising. Aries trying to push it past the 6,000 mark. Jurgensen might get caught out. He does use the Command of Legends to get himself out. Todot though has completed his second item on the Vayne, which will give him some damage, but he's still even behind Lil Ison, who at 2 items, Lucian is much stronger than the Vayne. Oh, that's a binding onto Jurgensen, who will not drop down. Holberg not quite having enough damage to get the assassination complete, but Monkey will drop though. P-Chopstick is going in with the Onslaught of Shadows, but will also fall down in the backline. That is 2 picks for the Aries, and can they look for the game? Maybe. They have the Baron Dive, they have the Super Minions, only 3 members alive, Jurgensen, Todot and Kawaii. Todot trying to dodge away, Kai dish out the damage, flashes to the top side, dodges away from the Glacial Fissure, but it's not finding the damage. The Light Binding will spell the end of it. Kawaii does a nice knockout, but it will not do a damn thing as Rag goes on a killing spree. Jurgensen trying to flash away. Holberg finishing the ace with the final spark. And Aries, they will take the game 3 off top of the Holberg snowballing after a downfall in game 2. They will take the series over to 2-1. Well played from Aries, is all I have to say. They did have that misplay in the second game where they let the Twitch scale up and not really close the game out, but in the end they managed to get the 2-1 win, which will give them 2 points and put them tied first with the Phoenix for now. Obviously Phoenix will play later on this week, so that is possibly due to change. And yeah, really well played, Acrolex. What do you have to say about the series?
Well, it was back and forth. Game 1 was in favor of Aries. Game 2, T2 did very well to kind of play their own style and make sure that, you know, they got ahead. But in game number 3, you know, Holberg started to become unstoppable at a point. He had some amazing ultimates there. Consistent outplays from him, able to turn around these ganks, and well played.
You guys have the links in the Twitch chat, so do not forget to vote who was your MVP for either of these teams. You don't have to choose from the winning team. Seriously, Joe? Alright, okay. Well, you guys see a very nice clip of the end of the game ultimate here. I do realize I'm speaking in delay, but yeah, coming back into the game. Yeah, you said it, Aries, they got the game 1 win off top of Holberg pretty much on the Orianna, finding the picks. Then they lost the game 2 since Todot was allowed to scale. Game 3, Holberg puts on the carry pants once again, getting ahead on the Lux and really taking over control of this game. And yeah, with that win, Aries, they will solidify themselves on top of Division 2. It now becomes very, very difficult, if not realistically impossible, for teams like Dorado or Pegasus or T2 even to try and make it into promotions, since, you know, promotions, it's only top 2 teams going there, and with the lead that right now Aries even consolidated more, it will be a tough road. However, focusing on Aries, right now they are sitting on 11 points, which is a fairly decent score. And what do you think that this is a team that we could be seeing going into division deciders?
Yeah, they definitely performed very well today. You know, after game 2, they thought, guys, we need to be more careful. We need to make sure that we shut down this Vayne before she's come online. And, you know, I have to commend their objective play as well, you know. They were able to move around the map, force TT to back off or commit to a bad fight, and, you know, they were just able to exploit that in order to get a really snowballing gold lead. And, you know, it was nice to see them controlling vision around the Baron, sure that they were able to commit to the Baron when they wanted to, and, you know, it was well played, Aries, and they could definitely contend for, you know, the promotion games. I look forward to seeing how they perform in the future.
Alright guys, I will actually take now the votes, since they are actually very one-sided, total getting 80% of the votes for T2 out of a total of 10. On the other side, Holberg getting 7 votes out of 9. So these are, guys, your MVPs. These are the guys you have voted for, and I believe that this will be it from us today. The next match we will be going live on Sunday. I believe that will be, first we will see a Division 1 match between Draco and Hydra, then we will see a Division 2 match between Phoenix and Dorado. So don't forget to tune in then to our Twitch. Follow us also on Twitch, YouTube. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter. Join our Discord if you're not here already, and if you're tuning into the stream first time. You will find some nice people. We are over 800 members, and I believe that it is the end of the sellout. So tonight it was me, Kachka, in the play-by-play position, and Acrylex was the color caster, and we wish you good night.